At first glance, this 2024 Crosstrek doesn't exactly exude all new vibes. But indeed, this is the redesigned third generation model, and it feels much like the one before it. And that's a good thing, because this formula is working, with only minor tweaks required.
The Wilderness sub-brand is the best idea Subaru has ever had. It's the very distillation of the company's ethos, and it's proving to be very successful throughout the model range. For 2024, the more rugged Wilderness treatment reaches this new Crosstrek, but down toward the lower end of the trim walk is this premium, just above the base Crosstrek, priced from $27,440. Describing this Crosstrek as all new is a little bit of a stretch, seeing as how it has the same exact powertrain and nearly identical dimensions to the previous car. The 6-speed manual is gone, the brakes are larger, and the chassis is stiffer. And then inside, the big Starlink screen takes center stage. So that's a summary of what's new, but when you've got a bestseller, you do tread carefully with change. Now, Subaru calls this an SUV. I think of it more as a small wagon, but either way, it's one of my favorite Subaru models because it's Subaru at its core. Hallmark all-wheel drive, symmetrical in its layout of course, and quicker to react for this generation. Nearly 9 inches of ground clearance, loaded with safety tech, and an uncomplicated utilitarian nature make it a solid choice for the money. The engine feels dead, but returns 29 mpg in mixed driving, down 1 mpg from last year. If 152 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque sounds iffy for a 3,300-pound vehicle, and it does, note that this 2-liter engine is standard on the base and premium trims, while the larger 2.5-liter Boxer is reserved for the sport trim and higher. Either way, a CVT transmits the power to the torque vectoring all-wheel drive system, and Subaru says it's smoother and quieter than before. It's not what you want, but it's not a deal breaker either. This Crosstrek also receives its steering from the WRX, so it feels more connected now. But this isn't a sporty model in any way. But it can be the perfect match for the outdoorsy type with bikes and kayaks. The durable cloth seats, the rubberized cargo mat, the favorable step-in height, and easy roof loading. The Crosstrek is good at making friends with its users.
Looking at this center console design is kind of like stepping into the Wayback Time machine. It also doesn't exude the highest quality level. Looks like this plastic would scratch pretty easily. But then your eyes move up to this very large and modern touchscreen, and Subaru builds an excellent one, so this is a very nice get in the Crosstrek. It also boasts an impressive sound system, particularly when considering this lower trim level. There's a lot of bass to it if you like that sort of thing. And then these cloth seats are highly cushioned and very comfortable, and the controls in general in here are very simple to use. But I still don't love Subaru's safety-forward technology approach. Sometimes it's a little too intrusive. For instance, when I shut off the lane departure warning system, I get this little orange light up here reminding me of such. It's very conspicuous, it's always right there, and it kind of looks like a check engine light. That's something I don't want to be staring at all the time.
The EyeSight camera system receives the same upgrades as other new Subis by incorporating a wider field of view, more readily identifying bicyclists and pedestrians, while also doing its best to avoid any sort of collision. Interacting with its controls is accomplished through this excellent touchscreen, which includes wireless phone projection, but no navigation or surround view camera. There's no wireless charging here either, though it is available. Now, this one has the option package. Yes, that's what Subaru calls it, which bundles blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert, heated front seats, a power driver's seat, and a moonroof for an extra $2,245. All told, MSRP on this premium trim is $29,685.
The rear seats of the Crosstrek actually offer very generous legroom, and they sit elevated theater style. But there are no air vents back here, and you know what that leads to? Rear seat passengers getting car sick and getting too hot, so that's a negative. But there are mixed USB ports here and a center armrest.
If you're the kind of person who prioritizes lots of stuff in your vehicle, then this trim may not be right for you. Despite the tech upgrades, it still feels very manually operated. Despite the highway tires, the Crosstrek feels most in its element out here on the camp road, the gravel and dirt trail, and shooting down rutted paths. The ride quality is soft and forgiving, and the X mode can be activated at low speeds for more confident driving in slippery conditions. There's also hill descent control for modulating speed while heading back down. Throw some Meteor rubber on this one and watch it go. So the Crosstrek is reborn, but in a familiar way that should work well for Subaru. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammis.